Earth supports a diversity of life. This life exists in large biomes around the world, including deserts, coral reefs, rainforests, and tundras. Biomes are home to many ecosystems that support the interactions of living and non-living things. Biodiversity is the variety of life in the world or in a particular habitat or ecosystem. This includes the variety of organisms that exist in a given area, such as animals, plants, and fungi. Within the animal kingdom, there are two types: vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates are animals that have a backbone, such as tigers, ostriches, whales, turtles, and snakes. Invertebrates are animals that do not have a backbone. These animals include ants, scorpions, centipedes, ladybugs, and cuttlefish. Vertebrates, invertebrates, plants, and fungi can all be observed in nature spaces. The interactions between these organisms contribute to the biodiversity of that particular area. For example, at a beach, you may observe vertebrates such as pelicans diving into the waves, and even elephant seals resting on the sand. You may see invertebrates such as mussels and sea stars in tide pools, and even spot plants such as seaweed, grasses, and different types of fungi. Why is biodiversity important? Biodiversity is important because it makes a habitat or ecosystem healthier and more stable. Having species diversity in specific contributes to the health of a habitat or ecosystem because one species can depend on others to eat, for shelter, and for a clean environment. They are interconnected. If one disappears, it can begin to break down the health of an ecosystem. For example, if a lake begins to dry out or the water becomes toxic, fish can get sick and die, which would affect the ospreys that depend on fish to eat. This may force the osprey to leave or go elsewhere since they won't have anything to eat. Observing nature spaces and taking note of what organisms you see can help you understand what living creatures exist in that space. It can also help you understand the health of a natural space by noticing the amount of each organism that exists and how they interact with each other and other non-living things. There are ways you can take notes and collect data out on the field when observing organisms. A pictograph is a way to represent numbers and data using pictures. It is a helpful tool to help anyone quickly and visually see numbers represented through pictures. One important thing to pay attention to when reading a pictograph is seeing the value of each picture or image. Value means what something is worth. For example, this pictograph shows organisms observed at a local park. Each picture represents 5 organisms. Since the value of each picture is 5 organisms, how many squirrels were observed? If you answer 10, that is correct. You would count each picture by 5 since that is the value. That means there were 10 squirrels, 20 butterflies, 25 sunflowers, and 15 mushrooms observed at the park. Practice creating pictographs on your own and answering questions based on the data you see. If you get an opportunity, explore a local nature space and collect data on the biodiversity that exists. Count the number of organisms you see and practice identifying whether they are vertebrates, invertebrates, plants, or fungi. Then use the data you gather to create your own pictograph, assigning a value to each picture. One of the greatest ways to feel the deep appreciation for nature and the importance of keeping it balanced and healthy is by directly connecting to it. As often as you can, play outside, take walks, and observe the beauty that is around you. Pay attention to all critters and organisms that come across your path, from the biggest animals to the tiniest creatures. Connecting to the natural world around us helps us see the importance of taking care of it and the beauty that exists.